Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are sailing the Deadfire, Pillars of Eternity 2. We're actually not even going to be sailing too much today, because I am told that this is a massive temple. So we'll see how far we get. But it'll be a fun night either way, and I'm looking forward to it. Oh man, bouncing between these two games is a terrible idea. The controls are so very different. The eyes of this statue seem to follow you wherever you walk. Huh, with Steelyx right next to us, he's on board. Well, this place doesn't seem too big, but I've been wrong many times before. The statue decorating this small shrine has been dusted and polished to a shine. This door is stuck fast. Oop. Hit a lever.
You hear that? Whispers in the darkness. It's from the grave.
The translucent visage of an Orlin glows before you. At your approach, it shimmers. You are swallowed by a tide of bewilderment. As your mind strains toward the confused soul, the presence of other spirits begins to prick at the edge of your awareness. You sense their rage is directed not only at the bright soul, but at your intrusion. A rush of grisly images flash before you, sadistic murders, violent torture, and worse. A din of spiteful whispers assaults your mind as the depraved souls relive their gruesome crimes. They take glee in the terror of their victims. The confusion of the bright soul lessens. Emboldened by your presence, it shines with a steady azure glow. The whispering souls retreat to the shadows. Your mind clears. You extend your perceptions to the bright soul, and it reaches out to you in turn.
Nice. They got a whole room where their skeletons can relax.
Thank you, Adair. The world slips away. You wake with a start, unable to breathe. Someone covers your mouth with their hand, their grip so tight you can taste the salt in their sweat. You're hauled from your bed by three dark figures. They drag you screaming down the stairs and toss you into the road. You stumble to your feet only to be painfully thrown back down. Taut ropes bite into the flesh of your wrists. "Murderer!" accuses one. "Betrayer!" shouts another. Your neighbors watch from their windows, mouths agape. None of them come to help. They turn away as you scream their names. You feel a jolt on the back of your head, and darkness envelopes you. When you come to, your knees ache against cold sandstone. You betrayed nothing, killed no one. Confusion and pain swirl in each panicked plea. Hardened eyes stare back at you through slits in an expressionless mask. You find no reprieve in them. Words are spoken, but lost within the rhythmic pounding in your head. This can't be happening. The masked figure demands justice. A sword swings, and you feel the hot bite of steel against your neck. Oblivion rolls over you like a tide. Abruptly, you find yourself back in the ruin. The confused spirit pleads to you without words, its shimmering glow almost childlike. You were executed for a crime you didn't commit. It wasn't your fault.
If you've seen what you need to see, Watcher, I'd like to fulfill my duty and reap this soul. Will you allow it?
Shodi raises her lantern, eager. The light slices eerily across her face. Yeah, go ahead, Shodi. With a rattling shake, the lantern's otherworldly light flares and the soul is sucked inside. A hard shudder racks Shodi forward, and she moans, sweat beading on her brow. Jealous whispers return with renewed malice. The guilt of the damned bears down upon you, an unholy chill that sinks deep into your bones, your very marrow running cold as ice. Unnatural shadows dance in the darkness around you. Got some enemies. Not that it's been forever, I've just been bouncing between this and Baldur's Gate 3, so that's where my mind is right now.
Sure.
Let's just go ahead and hit it once and see. Okay, not too tough.
Oh?
Aloth.
There's something I can do?
You know there is. This one. Shodi. I bet you can kill this with the Blessed Harvest.
Got it.
Just like that.
I?
Did another
Happy to
one
oblige.
spawn in? Uh-oh. Davos, let's get you over here.
Oh, good.
Aye.
Aloth, we'll try that again. Shodi, you're moving a little too quick there, girl.
I am ready.
What do you need?
May I be a candle in the night. How may I
Okay.
help? No mercy!
You
What
just keep
now?
punching. You're doing more damage with your main attack than you are with anything else right now.
Tell me.
Nice, Adair. Let's head down, see what else is in here. We'll find out, won't we? Alright, this floor is a little bit bigger. Bloody note. Dangerous creatures have made this sacred place their home. If it is Wodika's will that they remain, it is not our place to disturb them. Further, remember that we are not here as looters. Anyone caught thieving will meet the Strangler's justice. The Strangler, interesting. Let Kudwina's death be an example to you all. Not even any fine weapons or armor. It's a pretty looking beetle.
Fight.
Go smack it. Oh, that one's eating a corpse. At least they die easy. Yeah. You do all those three at least. Dare, charge this one. Oh, there's more. Fantastic. What is that? Oh, it's a burrow.
Lava beyond sea.
Shodi.
Moweth.
That
Seeks on us.
seems like a good idea. I hope. Well-placed fireball. Pallegina is going to get hit, but that's fine. Davos, come this way.
Just like that.
That was a waste of a spell.
How may I help?
Okay. Did I not have you cast a fireball? What just happened there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Nice, Davos.
This is futile!
That's better.
Happy to oblige.
Don't waste a spell this time. There you go. Pallegina, I wonder if you can hit. Nice. I need
I'm
you
honest.
to sneak around. Kill that one.
How may I help? That's it!
Tell me.
Jody. We'll head back to that afterwards. You feel a soft breeze blowing through the crack in the stones above.
Up ahead. Great. Steelyx. Meeting.
Oh boy. Fireball, that should be effective. Right there.
Great.
There's a walloping!
Oh, that's the stuff.
Aloth. Kill that one. Pallegina. Will you be able to hit both of them? Yes. Can you stun this one? Yes. Things sounded like Donald Duck.
Let's go!
There, kill this thing. Thank you.
Lavaru beyond seek.
Well, you didn't do what I wanted you to do. There we go. Can stun him though. It's always nice.
Sure. Got it.
Just like that.
There it is. Torch, pry bar, flint and tinder. Aquamarine. The crush of time has significantly weakened this section of wall. You feel a slight breeze coming through the cracks between the stone. You suspect that the wall will come right down with a little bit of force. You start to put leverage on the pry bar and the wall begins to tremble. If you continue, there will be no way to get out of the way without collapsing the wall on yourself. Really? Let's stop using the pry bar then. And attempt to break it down with Adair. Adair charges into the wall, but it doesn't budge. Adair stumbles back, grimacing in pain. Alright, well, if I'm already injured, you might as well. You manage to pull the wall down, but it collapses right on top of you. That's fine. Because at that point, I'll just take a rest. Yeah. Like, last time I talked to him, it's been a little bit, though. I should call him. It's been a minute. All that for some junk. Where do I go here? Let's check out this pool first. Okay.
I'm not going anywhere like this.
Oh, I didn't even see this dude. Like right in front of me. They're gonna move.
Stay behind me.
I am ready. No, I cannot do that.
How about now?
Lavaru, be on seek!
That's it.
Nice.
That's right!
Yeah?
Why did that spell not cancel? That's my question. Nice.
There's a walloping.
Something I can do? No.
How may I help?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Go.
Man, a bunch of weak items in this area. It's very bizarre. Couple of traps. Lots of traps. So many traps.
Yeah.
Oh, these things again. Goodness.
Yeah?
Lavaru, be on seek!
I cannot whack him any harder.
One down.
Take him down.
This is futile.
Got it.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Lavaru, be on seek!
Huh?
Immune. Go figure. Well, you guys don't want to go and dance in that, so...
Good.
There's a walloping.
There we go. These guys are going to explode.
Got it. Take him down.
The water roils with the teeming of countless tiny maggots. Guessing by the thick layer of dust on these stone slabs, they haven't been used recently. What is in here? Can't see anything. Okay. Oop. The hell did I just walk in on?
Queen that was in the will of the Steel Garrote, you will meet justice. Kneel, Oswald, and be tried for your crimes.
Wait! I can pay you. I can make you all rich. Just let me go.
Your bribes fall on deaf ears,
All right.
Oathbreaker.
We're
We
gonna go
seek
in there
only
and
to
pretend to be
exact
judges
Mordecai's
and say
justice.
this is an illegal trial,
What?
and now they're on trial.
As you enter the large chamber at the bottom of the pyramid, you notice a sizable group of well-armed people dressed in raiments of the steel garrote. In the center of the group kneels a man bound at the wrists. He looks around wildly. His eyes widen when they fall on you. Before the kneeling man towers an imposing woman, her face obscured by the severe lines of a Wodekin mask.
You intrude on the deliberations of the court of Wodeca, outsider. Choose your next actions carefully, lest the queen that was turn her gaze to you as well.
The man on the floor is an elderly elf clad in dirty clothes, his face contorted in the expression of a cornered animal.
Oh, thank the gods, please. Get me out of here. They're mad. They're all mad. They mean to put me on trial for oath-breaking, of all things. They say I betrayed the Adiran Empire, but I haven't been back there in over 100 years.
Be silent, or I will make you so.
The Inquisitor snarls at Oswald.
State your purpose now, or die with him.
She turns her steely gaze on you. Through the slits in her mask, you can just see the glint of her eyes. Do you condemn the innocent out of spite or mere incompetence? The Inquisitor bristles at your impertinent question. She grabs her sword hilt and begins to step forward, but stops herself, suddenly uncertain. Her followers share pointed looks with one another and say nothing to challenge or defend her.
Explain.
Leather creaks as the Inquisitor's hand tightens on the hilt of her sword. I'm a watcher. I've conversed with the tortured souls that met your justice. Not all of them are guilty.
Ah, the Watcher of Cadnua graces our presence. Your deeds are well known to this court.
Her tone is dangerously short.
Those that attempt to lie to me find I am not easily fooled. Tell me, Watcher, how many of these souls do you claim were innocent?
At least one. She stares at you intently for several moments, her eyes as unreadable as the mask that hides her features.
Even should you speak truthfully, you must see the wisdom of these proceedings. Imagine the greater good achieved by dispensing the reckoning this filth deserves. Would you prefer these monsters walk free at the expense of the truly innocent?
And who holds them accountable for serving the greater good? Who ensures they do not become the same as those they hunt? Theos also believed he was an authority unto himself, and he wielded that authority to the detriment of many, many people.
A masked murderer lecturing me on justice. Now that's rich.
I pray your soul learns from your mistakes on its next turn about the wheel.
Here we go. Fun, fun, fun.
Aye.
There!
Oh, this shouldn't be too bad. There we go.
Tell me.
Let's get those ones. Oh yeah, this will be an easy fight. This won't be a bad idea. Let's drop a chill cloud now. Don't like that that's going to hit a dare. Oh, I can put that there.
That's the stuff.
Sure.
Shody. Yeah. There. Give you discipline strikes. Palagina. I love it. Ooh. You can paralyze me. Give me a taste of my own medicine. She just drops dead.
Stay behind me.
Let's go!
That wasn't too bad. This mask, bearing the severe visage of Wodeca, once belonged to the great Adiran theorist of justice, Aphra Swordafall, known by her contemporaries as the Iron-Fisted Philosopher. It was forged of ore harvested by debtors and penitents in the vast corrective pit mines of the Adiran Empire. Now where did Oswald run off to? There he is.
I owe you a debt too large to repay, stranger.
He wrings his hands and gives you a shaky smile.
How did you ever find me all the way out here? Did Inalis send you?
Khan sent me after you.
That tenacious little wretch. I owe her my thanks. And a drink. Several drinks. And a fair bit of money, too.
He grimaces, his broad brow furrowed with deep wrinkles.
Those steel garrote zealots have been after me for decades. Good riddance.
By the way, you owe Khan some money.
Ah, yes. Yes, indeed.
His attention is suddenly diverted by an apparently fascinating stain on the hem of his robe. You're broke, aren't you?
Yes. Unfortunate business mishap. You know how it is, I'm sure.
I know I ought to be feeling charitable, but I mostly just want to wring his neck.
He titters nervously and twists the hem of his robe in his hands, unwilling to meet your eye. Look, I really stuck my neck out here.
You did risk life and limb for me, it's true. And make no mistake, I am grateful. Really, really grateful. Believe me, I would give you something if I could.
His eyes take on a faraway look, and he takes a deep breath.
Well, that's not entirely true, is it? I have this old ring. It's the last possession of any value I own. Here, take it for your trouble.
All right. It's something. He presses a simple length of string twisted into a makeshift ring into your palm. Oh, God, of course. And nods, a small frown tugging at the corner of his lips.
You have a ship, don't you? Of course you do. How else would you have gotten to this benighted island?
He shifts the weight from foot to foot, restless and unsettled.
Let me join your crew.
Really? What could you possibly offer?
It's no secret I'm an old man. Now, I might not be able to hoist a mainsail any longer, but I've picked up a thing or two about navigation in my decades of traveling.
He bounces back on his heels, every word coming faster than the last.
And I don't care much for coin, I can tell you that. An extra ration of rum here and there, and I'll be perfectly contented.
I mean, why did the Inquisitor have you on trial?
After what you did for me, well, I suppose you have the right to hear the truth of things. The whole truth, rather.
Oswald clears his throat with a theatrical flair.
You'll remember that the Deerwood was once a colony of Adir, yes? Well, I was one of the first colonists to set foot on that benighted continent. When it became evident the Deerwood intended to revolt, I took their side in the War of Defiance against the country of my birth. I'm sure you'll be astounded to learn the powers that be in Adir didn't much like that. The steel garrote's been after me for my grave transgression ever since.
You might say you've dug yourself a little tomb deep. Oswald groans and puts his head in his hands.
Those steel garrote hounds are relentless. But it should be a couple of years before they find me again, thanks to you. At least, I hope as much.
His shoulders slump. Well, welcome aboard, Oswald.
Thank you, my friend. I owe you a debt twice over.
He gives you a toothy grin and stands a hand's breadth taller. Well, that was neat. I gotta go back and deal with the Zarips.
Aye?
Oh, that's a lot of them. Well, at least there's not a dragon hiding back there that I can see.
Take him down. Yeah.
That is a good number of them, though. Goodness. Please tell me you can do... Oh, yeah. There.
Good.
There we go.
Perfecto. Moe, Ixie, honor.
That's it!
thick worth and rough.
Just like that.
I'm just gonna have you keep bouncing around stunning people.
Moeth, Ixie, Honor.
There's this is futile. Thick worth and rough.
Let's go.
It felt like overkill.
Lavaru, be on seek.
I cannot whack him any harder.
What do you need?
Oh yeah.
Pariathus!
Or did those ones become more powerful with that? Nice. Where are you going? Ordinary sword. Whether single-edged or double-edged, swords are always straight-bladed, one-handed weapons that can be used to cut or thrust at an enemy. In some circumstances, swords lack the raw slashing power of sabers, but they are more flexible against a variety of armor types. When you examine the weapon, it starts to glow. The latent magic of the blade has been unlocked. The Watcher's Blade has been added to the stash. Soul Severing. 10% damage deltas. Raw damage? Are you joking? Holy crap. The origin of the Watcher's Blade is a mystery. No smith has ever claimed responsibility for its forging. Its metal is as smoky and indistinct as the in-between, with no marking to suggest that it has ever felt the kiss of a hammer, leaving many to believe that it assumed this form naturally. Artfully infused with soul essence, the blade glows in a kinship response to those on familiar terms with death. Its uncanny balance is linked to its ethereal nature, as the blade never seems wholly present in tangible reality. At times, it feels like less of a sword than an ideal expression of one, which is why many mistaken its true nature. Compounding its mystery, ancient war epics have described mauls or daggers with the elusive properties of the Watcher's Blade. This has led some mystics to conclude that the sword is merely a sword in its current and unknowably long lifetime, and that it could be something else entirely on the next turning of the wheel. Oh man, I gotta use that. It's not even a question. Ooh, I could do legendary. Yeah, why not? Screw it. Keep mode wear, because she's amazing. Get rid of Skullcrusher. That is nuts. Why is that necessary? Why are we doing that?
I've got it.
Alright, that wasn't too bad. Moving on. Oh, here we go. Crookspur Captain. Aye.
Thick worth and rough.
Perfecto!
Yeah?
Take him down.
Sure.
That's twice now, Seraphin. Come on, man.
How may I help?
They'll fall by my hand.
There's something I can do?
That'll teach you.
Tell me.
Whoa.
Huh? Got it.
Just like that.
Nice. go.
Lavaru beyond seek.
Lavaru beyond seek.
There we go.
Oh, good.
Yes?
These uns are in for a walloping.
What do you need?
Now a dare.
What now?
Perfecto.
That's what I meant to do. That's why.
Just like that.
Nice.
Smart, don't it? Lavaru beyond seek.
There we go. Oh. Alright, that's Nekataka. So, let's just go due east. You hear a knock at the door to your quarters. An unexpectedly cold wind blows across the deck of the ship, and even after several hours, has not abated. Eld Engrams sheepishly knocks on your cabin door. When he enters, his skin is pale, his brow dotted with beads of sweat. Begging your pardon, Captain, but this is an ill wind sent by Andra. We've sailed too long without offering her tribute. She's sure to punish us if we don't give her what she's due. He tilts his head towards the hatch, beckoning you to follow him on deck. All right, I think we can spare something for the Lady of Lament. You head above deck with a chest of coins and gather the crew around you as you stand at the ship's edge. With a brief exhortation to Andra, you pour the money overboard. The crew members nod and sing a short shanty that celebrates Andra's mercy. As they return to work, Eld Engram gives you a word of thanks for honoring the goddess. By the next day, the winds have subsided, and the crew is glad that the Lady of Lament appears to have been placated by your donation to the sea floor. Alright, let's check out this little abandoned island. Where you expect to find a small Huana village is instead a pile of rubble. Several large pits run down its middle. As you near, you realize the pits are in fact the footprints of a kith who must be as tall as a mountain. There might be something in the wreckage worth salvaging yet. Just some drugs, no big deal. More... mortar... Mortar's Wrath. Didn't expect that. Captain, a moment. You hear the voice of Eld Engram raised in question, then an insistent knock at your cabin door. Eld Engram pokes their head into your quarters and frowns. We found a man drifting on a piece of flotsam. The deckhands tried to talk to him, but he's speaking in a tongue none of us have ever heard before. Should we bring him on aboard? See if we can get a few words of sense out of him? Or would you rather we leave him to his fate? Yeah, bring him aboard. Eld Engram nods, acknowledging your order, and hurries out the door. You gather your equipment and head out onto the main deck. Easy, Steely boy. You find a young man waiting for you on deck. He wears heavy clothing of a kind you've never seen. The colors of his tabard bold and bright. He stands, but barely. Sodden, sun-scorched, and battered, he can hardly keep his feet. He stumbles forward a bit, then rights himself. He looks at you warily, bleary-eyed, exhaustion heavy on his shoulders. Are you all right? He coughs out the last word, then buckles over and vomits a tremendous amount of seawater onto the deck.
Okay? What is he saying? Is that the Shamatal?
La Pilikiko? Lakaris? Kezilas Tahum?
He knits his eyebrows. His words are unfamiliar to you. Their sound low and hard-edged, but his tone is soft with confusion. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but... He presses his palms to his eyes and takes a deep, shaking breath. His shoulders slump. Davos.
Keketsegu kisa reka. Reka, ta?
His eyes light up with the first expression of happiness you've seen from him. As he pronounces his name for you, he taps the center of his forehead. I got it. Your name's Rekka. What did you say? Rekka?
Ta!
He pumps his fist a bit, pleased to have finally managed to communicate with you. Relief brings a bright blush to his pale cheeks. He turns away then, casting his gaze over the rough sea. What he's thinking is unclear, but you can guess by the vein pulsing hard in his neck that the tight fists at his sides, that he seems to be coming to a decision. As soon as the words leave his mouth, he grimaces, knowing that you can't understand him. He repeats his last sentence, this time gesturing to the length of your ship, to you, to your crew, and lastly to himself. It would seem he wishes to travel with you. I mean, yeah, welcome aboard.
Yuki, Ketagi, Lashita-sama.
Though he doesn't understand your words, he grasps well enough your meaning. Rekka gives you a small smile and a quick nod of his head in acknowledgement, or perhaps in thanks. Oh, he's like a class. Damn. You know what? I have so many barbarians, I'm so curious about a brawler. Let's try it out. He's interesting. Yep. See ya. The Windless Wastes. Cool. Nope. Absolutely not. The Dead Flow. I mean, I'll take this experience that I'm getting. Oh, another, abandoned ship. Is this going to be another cannibal island? Okay, you hear two crew members arguing on the deck. An argument from the deck pulls your attention away from the gentle rocking of the ship and the smooth expanse of the blue on the horizon. Half of those fish were floating belly up, cries Hema. Better we throw out the whole catch than end up with a rot-bellied crew. They looked alive enough when we hauled them out, little Loika retorts, gesturing violently at a pile of fish on the deck. Fish die when you pull them out of the water. That's what fish do. There are no signs of discoloration, open sores, or bloated bellies. The fish appear perfectly healthy. I told you it wasn't dangerous, little Loika gloats, arms akimbo. We're in no position to throw away food. Stow the fish in the hold. We are totally in a position to throw away food, but besides the point. See, Hema? The captain knows we can't go throwing away perfectly good meals. Hema sighs. If we take these on, Captain, there's every chance... Stow it, little Loika barks. The captain's word is law. Let's get these fish below. The pair heave the barrel and move it towards the hatch, leaving you to return aft. Waves batter a splintered hull that doggedly refuses to sink. Whoever abandoned this may have left something behind. A grand old galleon sits just offshore, listing so hard to the side, its top deck stands nearly vertical. Its main mast has been snapped clean in half, as if by the hand of an angry beast. Lord Darren's Volge, a pollux of especially fine make that glitters with a strange internal light. That's the first, magic item or interesting, piece of equipment that I found in one of these things. Ah, that is pretty good. 30% damage. Activate lightning strikes. From the sea song, Lord Darren's Lads, author unknown. Well, the year I found myself first mate 'twas the spring of 2668. Left home and lover dear. We had a letter from a deer given plunderin' rights. Deerwood ships were up for a fight. Gods damn them once and damn them twice. Lord Darren promised gold and glittering prizes. We set sail headin' Deerwood bound. 2 weeks at sea and a rebel we found. We were brave young fools and surely mad. We couldn't be stopped, we were Darren's lads. Lord Darren called for ramming speed. Draw your blades, said he, let's make 'em bleed. I miss my home and lover dear. We closed and crashed and leapt aboard. Bled them more than they could afford. Gods damn them once and damn them twice. Lord Darren promised gold and glittering prices. Lord Darren with his Volge fought true, wrought thunder and sparks and led us through. We were brave young fools and surely mad. We couldn't be stopped. We were Darren's lads. I don't want to mess with that giant storm. I just don't. Nope. A knock at your cabin door interrupts your reading. Little Luika stands outside, looking like someone who's just lost a bet. Captain, you'd best come topside. There's a ship on the horizon. Looks derelict. Little Luika leads you up to the forecastle where a small gaggle of hands have gathered. Pawing a holy symbol, Eld Engram points towards port. It's a bad omen, Captain. We should give them over to the Lady of Lament or there'll be trouble, mark my words. Rumdung Regier chuckles. We don't even know if they're dead, much less what fills their holds, and you want to sink them. The ship in question lists upon the waves, its sails pulled in. Topping the mast is a green flag, the symbol of a ship carrying disease. You see no movement on its deck. Your thoughts, Shield Sister? Well, no one has signaled. Anyone on that ship is likely beyond help. Shield Sister Dahlia frowns. That ship is a hazard, Captain, and not just to any who come across it. Not to tell you your business, but I'd advise sinking it before someone gets in their head to board it. Well, I'm going to listen to my crew, then. Prepare the cannons. Eld Engram chants an Andrite dirge while the cannoneers ready the guns. As their song rises in volume, the Defiant fires a volley that hits the derelict right at the waterline. After the ship has vanished into the depths, the crew return to their duties with quiet conviviality. Huh. Oop, oop. Who are you? Nope. See ya. Don't mind me as I just completely clear out the fog. Some OCD like that. Find 2 of your crew members playing a game in the hold. They're examining cargo in the hold when the sound of whispers and muted laughter draws you deeper into the darkness. You carefully round a stack of crates to find Haima and Eld Engram engaged in a round of Orland's Head. Different game. Haima salutes. Hello, Captain. We're putting down copper on Orland's Head if you're looking to join for a round. What is Orland's Head? You carve an Orland into the mast like so. Eld Engram grins, gesturing at a crudely rendered figure with a comically large ears and a rabbit nose. Then you throw daggers at it. Always with the throwing daggers. Each part is worth a different number of points on account of some being harder to hit than others. The nose, for example, is worth lots of points. Yeah, you guys can stop and go make yourselves useful. Eld Engram blanches as Haima snaps to attention. Yes, Captain, they stammer, not quite as one. Apologies, Captain, Haima bows. We didn't mean any harm. We'll go get mess started. I'm an Orland. They should have known better. Nope. See ya. Just a whole bunch of volcanic islands right here that I can't even access. Oh, no. There we go. I'll wait on that one. It's a 2 skull. Oh, I'm like blasting through my food reserves too. The choppy seas stretch towards the horizon, curls of dark blue capped with lines of foamy white. Captain! Shouts Beodle from the rigging. There's something in the water to port. Off the portside rail, you see a dark shadow rising from the depths. The water splits around a hump of thick, mottled skin. With a sound like a horn blown underwater, 2 powerful jets of spray erupt from the creature's back. Let's try... There we go. Adair frowns down at the water. Bowhead, maybe? Or a wallface? Whale, either way. Thoughts, crew? Tongue flicking across chapped lips, Shield Sister Dahlia says, That's a wallface, Captain. Best whale for hunting in the whole Deadfire. Haima snorts. More likely a bowhead. You see that V-shaped spout? It's on account of it having 2 blowholes. Dahlia scoffs. That doesn't make it any worse hunting. It does if it dives and sinks our skiff, Haima's eyes roll. Aura the Mad steps back, appalled. You'd slay one of Ngati's children? And squander this blessing? Yeah, I'm not gonna kill a whale. I'll let the creature pass in peace. It's a chicken with a heart in it. Shield Sister Dahlia sighs as the crew members resume their duties. You sail on. The great beast keeps pace with the ship for several hours, its song seeming to vibrate within the very planks of the Defiant. Aura the Mad hums quietly along as Shield Sister Dahlia tosses bits of food to the creature. Haima sighs. They don't eat hardtack. Beodal chuckles. The ship sails on. God, this map is huge. You. Subterranean temple. Alright. Let's check this place out. You got things. What's going on?
You certainly
want some
seem
love.
to admire the luminous bathhouse, aloud. It was made by animancers, of course.
And if they devoted all their efforts to such endeavors, you wouldn't hear me complain.
It is a wonder they manage at all without your wisdom and guidance.
The dwarf fans himself with a dish rag. His face is dark and shiny with exertion. Sweat colors wide crescents on his shirt. He looks at you like a drowning man would look at dry land.
Weeks I've been stranded here. The Valiant Trading Company sends no one. Unless...
He squints at you, dabbing his brow feverishly with a corner of the rag. He swallows and aims a hopeful look at Palagina.
Viverus. The company's concerns are the Duke's concerns, which makes them my concerns. But saving your skin was not in my orders.
Then it is the will of gods and countrymen alike that I remain stranded.
Crestfallen, he raises a hand to his brow and looks out upon the open sea. Stranded? This is a settled island.
By whose standard do you call this settled?
With an anxious swallow, he glances over his shoulder at a sleepy, ramshackle village. His gaze darts from one grass-thatched hut to another, as if expecting some unspeakable horror to emerge. You were saying?
Ekosi, this tribe rattles my last nerve.
He mops around his neck.
I only tarry here because my shipmates went to Pococohara to search for Luminous Adra. I worry that Ruano, the local chieftain, gave Captain Bez and my crewmates a false lead.
He brushes an insect off his sleeve and knots the rag in his hands, pulling it taut. Go on.
The captain was meant to return. We swim in hostile waters, Huck. Ruano was the last to speak with the captain before she set sail. He squats in the hot northeast of that pitiful market.
He nods towards the gutted hull of a ship.
I would have joined her, but my stomach... something did not agree. Now it is weeks since they should have returned. I'm only the galley cook, not a search party.
He nurses his stomach and winces. I imagine the company will pay a bounty for word of the expedition?
You would search for them? Agrasima. Payment is assumed with the company. They are quick to buy what they do not have.
He nods, the first signs of relief showing in his red-rimmed eyes. What has you so on edge?
When we landed on Tikawara, the chieftain gave us a welcome feast for the dukes. We feasted, danced, drank, and slept, only so we could feast, dance, and drink more.
The ghost of a smile flits across his face.
Good to know your priorities were in proper order on company time.
Her dark eyelids droop over her golden eyes, glaring at the sweaty dwarf.
Tell it to the captain. It was all her idea.
He backs away a step, hands raised. Where did it go wrong?
With the priest, Anaharu. He said we had come to rob and plunder. He and Nairi turned the villagers against us.
He wipes a fresh rivulet of sweat from his temple.
After that, we slept on the boat and took turns watching the shore. Except for me. I had to rest and recover, of course.
He
But in
coughs.
the early hours, our lookout Soruano and Anaharu disappeared together.
Where did they go?
I am sure I do not know. All I heard was that they left the village. And by the afternoon, only Ruano returned. Now, no one here will even talk of Anaharu. Suspicious, no?
Perspiration gleams on his forehead.
Our captain was eager to leave before the winds changed again.
You mentioned Nairi?
The priestess. She imagines me in the jaws of our fish goddess. I know it.
He fans himself even more rapidly.
She lurks in the shrine next to that awful statue. I cannot stand her wicked looks, but if she does not scare you, then maybe you talk to her.
Alright, but first I need supplies. Really, I need to sell a lot.
The captain left all but the essentials with me. I have sustained myself trading with the villagers.
All but the essentials?
Ecosi, but I'm almost out of ale.
He gives you a weak smile and shows off his wares. Yeah, all that and only 18,000. That's not really a lot.
I must watch the supplies at the trading post.
It is a bad
You will
omen
come to
have
check
a
on me,
priestess
yes?
so young.
Age is no assurance of wisdom. Remember Anna?
Still your tongue. Amira's winds will surely carry your words.
Quit your chirping. I have no fish for you.
What are those? What the heck? They're like blue Zarabs. They're like fish Zarabs. What the?
Full tides.
The fisherman lowers his head in greeting and wipes his hands on his sarong, which is mottled with fish guts. He doesn't meet your gaze. Lagufaith? Why are those Lagufaith caged? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Lagufaith and the other Mataru found them when they explored the island.
He looks at the creatures with mingled trepidation and disgust. They bare their teeth in response. Flies buzzing around their clouded, gunky eyes and the dull patches on their scales.
Said maybe we train them to build. And if the soil and sea are misers here, then we eat them.
He shrugs, scratching at his incurved belly.
I do not believe I have ever experienced hunger so great that I would resort to eating Lagufath.
Lagufath, okay. A shiver sends a ripple through Palagina's feathers. He blinks at your companion impassively, glancing toward the sea with an air of mild impatience. What can you tell me about Tikawara?
The high tide is stingy with fish, and the low tide even more so.
He points down the beach to a lonely rack strung with a few scrawny fish. Alright, thank you, I guess. Dried koiki fruit? Oh, it's a quest item. Koiki fruit is rare and extremely valuable commodity in Tikawara. This piece has been intentionally dried to last in case of scarcity. The woman stands outside the half-finished building, arms crossed as if in protest of any shelter it might offer. She looks like she's scowling, but the scars in her face make it hard to tell.
An outsider in Tikawara? Who are you, stranger?
Her hand strays toward a hide belt cinched tightly about her waist. I am Davos, captain of the Defiant.
A captain? If you had sailed downwind of the island, you would have moved on, I say. I tell Ranga Ruanu that the stench of Tikawara will drive away friend and outsider alike. Do you smell it?
She flares her nostrils and grimaces.
Surely you can. Your kind of nose is like palm rats.
My kind. It's like you people. I mean, it smells like a beachside village to me.
I speak of the Lagufath.
She growls.
There is no food on this barren island that those monsters do not steal.
Her scars are like seams, tugging her face into a scowl.
Yeah, but how could you say no to those little faces?
Love a dare. Oh.
Always they circle our village looking for weaknesses.
She shakes her finger, making an argument she seems to have made many times before.
I push the cage with the young ones farther toward the beach, but I smell them even here.
And do you plan on doing something about these pests?
A week ago, I tracked the fish to Hoina Ravine, so I challenged the Mataru to a hunting competition. My mother's belt for the brood mother's head.
Grinning, she thumbs the hide belt slung across her waist.
It is not every day that newcomers land on our beaches. What say you show me how outsiders deal with Lagufath?
Gah, do I want to kill them? A little competition sounds like fun, why not?
Understand, they are animals. You must rely on blades, I say, not words. Hunting tales of our ancestors say the brood will scatter when their fish Ranga is killed.
And Ranga is what, queen? Title, chieftain.
No need to chase the children if you cut the head from the mother.
Oh, you're brutal. My god. Why would I want to do that? She makes a sweeping motion across her neck.
Am I a
Let me see what you have.
Do I dirty my fingers with coins 1,000 hands have touched? Never.
She spits.
Go see the sweaty one, the dwarf. He washes his hands sometimes.
Okay, sorry. Jeez. I'm gonna go check them out. If they attack me, I'll absolutely fight back, but I'm not gonna just slaughter a bunch of animals that are just hanging out, doing nothing. I agree with the dare in that regard. This Almawa man seems lost in thought. His clothes are neat and clean, but he's tugging on the fringe of his sash, which he's worried into a long, loose thread. He looks up at you, his bleary eyes suddenly sharp and alert.
What say? You are new to Tikawara?
He nods, looking you up and down. Yeah, care to explain that? You know what, actually, what do you do here first, before I go telling you about strange fruit that I found?
I weave baskets and mats, strong and soft, just as my mother's cousin taught me.
He smiles with real pride.
In the afternoon, I sell them here. Of course, all that I earn goes back to the Ranga first. This is prize share.
He rushes to add the latter part. And the Ranga distributes your goods to the tribe.
Ikira, just so.
He nods, pleased.
The Mataru get the best of all, and then the Kwaru. The Raparu share what is left among themselves. Mukumu sees to it that Tamao is made an example of what breaking prize share looks like.
Rangi frowns to himself. That doesn't answer the question of why I'm going to tell you about this fruit that I found, but care to explain it? He blinks at you, his mouth falling open. At first it seems like he's going to protest, but then he simply hangs his head in surrender.
Mukumu accused Tamao of stealing Kowiki fruit. The fruit which I stole. Ruanu would have us waste our last Kowiki on a ceremony to the gods. I say the seeds must be harvested and planted.
He nods, resolute on this point, even as he eases back.
So I hide them by the shore, where the sun warms the sand just so. And I wait.
Storing fruit in a moderate heat source, not a bad way to ease those seeds open.
Ikira, do you cultivate?
His eyes swell open with hope.
Kowiki is tough, stubborn. It does not surrender without a fight. I let Amira's hot breath warm the heart of the seeds, and tell them to grow.
So Tamao is an innocent man after all.
What say? He has stolen, insulted us, even hurled insults at the gods.
Rangi spits and wipes his mouth with the back of his hand.
He is no innocent, I say. If birthing a new crop of Kowiki means his sacrifice, even Ngati would forgive this.
So it's just a question of what I tell Mukumu.
Ikira, but say nothing.
Rangi takes a step closer, his eyes widening.
If Ruana takes back the Kowiki, we will grow nothing else in time to sustain the tribe.
He bows his head, speaking to the ground between his feet. Honestly, yeah, I'll consider it. I want to go talk to this other guy here.
I beg of you, for the good of the tribe, let Tumau meet the gods that the rest of us might eat again.
The drum emits a deep, satisfying boom when you strike it. A seasoned Huana woman rests her elbow on the drum like it's the only thing keeping her upright. She pats the hide skin, the percussion no more effortful than a sigh. She opens her eyes as you approach. Hi, I'm Davos, captain of the Defiant. One of her eyebrows arches up with an unspoken question. She squints down at the dock and nods towards your boat. She touches her brow with 2 fingers. Then she gives the drum a pair of playful taps. You recognize the first gesture as one of tribal greeting, gratitude, or both. The second was more personal, an introduction. What do you do here? Exaggerating her movements, she shields her eyes and scans the horizon. Then she points off at the distance, kicks her legs up with youthful glee, and pretends to pound on the drum with wild, enthusiastic beats. Shrugging, she lets her hand fall to her sides once again. You don't speak, do you? A deep, wrinkled scar traces a winding path down her neck. She tilts her head to the side and beckons you to look closer. The angle and shape look like the mark of a boar's tusks. She raises one finger and points down to a dried hoof knotted to her belt. Then she makes a gesture of pulling back and releasing a bowstring several times in rapid succession. Grinning, she snaps her fingers and leans once more against the drum with a satisfied sigh. I don't want to insult her by doing this, but I'm so curious. You play a short, hesitant beat. She bites the inside of her cheek and considers before drumming a quick response with her knuckles. Then she beats a harder, faster rhythm and steps back, grinning at you. Alright, let's play something. She places a hand on her hip, skeptical as you start to build up a rhythm. Eventually, she bobs her head and smiles a little wider. She eases in closer, your shoulders touching, and beats on the drum fast enough to build tempo without outpacing you. Her rhythm response changes the tune, introducing complexity while keeping the spirit of the original alive. She closes her eyes and sways in place. The flow of her movements make the beat look effortless, but her arms are a constant blur. In the village below, heads begin to bob. Furrowed brows momentarily relax. Finally, she breaks the rhythm and steps back, shaking out her arms and sucking in deep breaths. She tips her head to you, gratitude and recognition mingling with her exhaustion.
Hey, I'm right primed for another.
That was cute. I like that. That was a nice one. Oh, and I leveled up. When the heck did that happen? Don't mind me as I rob you blind. Alright, so improved critical is incredible. We're keeping that. Yeah, we're going to go with Toxic Strike. Hello. We're going to go ahead and grab that. Death Ring calls a black ring of necrotic energy into being that spreads out in all directions, causing corrode damage to enemies it touches, and potentially destroying those that are near death. Yup. Intercession calls upon the aid priest's god, restoring health and reducing durations of negative effects. That's... I mean, I'm glad that it restores health. She needs more of those. I want to go with the summon and, like, that. The quick summoning as well. Just because that's helpful. Yep. I love cleave-like abilities, but I'm going to give him that first. Revive. Yep, give her the revive. Not even a question. And Awawa huddles in close conversation with the warriors next to him. He whispers in a low, stern voice. No sooner do you catch his eye than he grins wide enough to stretch every muscle in his face.
Greetings, friend. Always an honor to receive guests.
He inclines his head and touches his brow. Davos, Captain of the Defiant, at your service.
I would shower you with the fruit of our harvest, but the season is unkind, I say. Kokokahara is restless. Even from afar, the storms tear our bounty up by the root and chase fish to calmer shores.
He raises his hand to gesture to the east. His hand falls limply to his side. Tikawara doesn't look so bad off.
Akira, but the land is stubborn, and Nagati sheds her tears to the east. The Valians went to Kokokahara for luminous Ardra, but their expedition does not return.
So I've heard.
As the storms grow wild, Tikawara dies around us. No traveler will land here if they are forced to eat their belts, I say.
He absently presses his knuckles, worrying the blood from his fingers. I do have some history with old places that cause storms. Yeah, I'll take a look. His eyes widen a little. The smile that creases his face seems, for the moment, genuine.
Here. This was a token passed down from the Rangas, said to come from Kokokahara in brighter days.
He passes you a heavy length of copper, shaped in a spiral. This kind of looks like a seashell.
The Muzuma snail. A foul thing, yes? They eat through the dead faster than Tangaloa, I say. It is nothing Nikuaru would craft. The ancestors and their hobbies.
He shrugs, smiling.
If you need aid, Himarihi's warriors need only someone to bark commands and they will go.
He raises his fingers to his brow once more. Okay, thanks. I know where I'm going. I've heard this tale before. This is woven from Kaora reeds, a hardy but flexible material smelling of sea salt. The bell's reliefs have been worn smooth in some places and crusted with patina in others.
Amir's winds blow bitter today, outsider.
This woman is young, but her serious manner makes her look much older. Her nose and ears are pierced in several places, and her mouth is twisted in a scowl.
More outlanders. Are your masters so desperate that they send you to plunder a starving village?
Well, it's difficult to plunder when you can't reach the shelves, my lady.
Maybe not. But your kind have surprised me in the past. Outlanders conquer us with ink and paper packs as well as blades. But they conquer us all the same.
She squares her stance and grimaces. Actually, I'm just seeking a lost Valiant expedition.
Better for us all if they stay lost, I say.
The company came here at the invitation of your chief. You should respect his decision.
Pelagina's lip curls at the young woman's impudence.
Amira's armored hatchling speaks with no authority here.
Armored hatchling.
Ruanu. He collaborates with the bottom feeders who went to Pokokahara for Adra riches. I warned the Valians about Pokokahara, but why listen to the ignorant Huana girl? Now I remain. They are gone. Taken by the curse.
What curse is that?
Those who make for Pokokahara are devoured by Nagati, the trickster of the seas.
Her hand strays to a coral crescent at her neck. It's pitted with age, and it looks older than her.
Forgive me for saying, but I ain't afraid of your goddess. I got a divine purpose, and so blessed protection from my god.
How comforted these outsiders must feel when they lie to themselves as well.
As though they care what happens to any of us. Percamblanca. You are young, but not so young to be this naive.
We have cause to respect the gods in the Deadfire. Daughter of Amira.
She places special emphasis on the last phrase.
Dark clouds surround Pokokahara. And in my dreams, they swallow us all.
She looks at the statue next to her, her eyes bright with intensity. It's a good speech, and it sounds like one she's rehearsed a little too carefully. Do you really believe all that? She sighs deeply, her bony shoulders rising like a vulture's wings.
We tell these stories not because they happen just so. We tell them for what they mean. Our Rangosphere makes him too trusting. He believes the Valiant traders will protect us if they settle here and mine Pokokahara.
She closes her eyes and shakes her head.
They will. It is what the company has done throughout the Eastern Reach. Why not here?
So the villagers pour their sweat into the sand, building a trading post on a barren island.
What do you think will happen?
If more Valians come? Akira, the same thing that has happened with every other foreigner.
She waves a gangly arm in the air.
They will kill us, rob us, enslave us. And we will be too busy building their halls and sweeping their docks to fight.
She bites her lip in a bitter frown.
If you go to Pokokahara, I say the best thing is to destroy it for the tribe.
Her brow raises sharply as she studies your reaction.
It's always destroy. It's never renovate.
When the Adra is gone, the Valians will dig somewhere else, leaving us to point our canoes toward more welcoming shores.
And how exactly do you expect me to destroy luminous Adra?
If I knew, then I would go myself. Anything that is built can surely be destroyed, Akira. And the storms are proof of powerful magic at work. Dispel this magic, banish it, whatever needs doing.
She brushes off her palms. I mean, honestly, yeah, sorry, I'm not going to shatter a gateway to the beyond because it's inconvenient for you.
Then stay out of my plans. Sail back to wherever you came from.
I hear that Anaharu also had problems with outsiders. She winces as you speak the name. One hand strays to the coral crescent pendant. She forces it back down, pinning her hand beneath folded arms.
Anaharu was the tribe's priest before me. And he was my father. Before he challenged Ruanu to a trial of waves.
She sighs and takes hold of the pendant, gripping it in a tight fist.
But he was cast off. We are forbidden to speak of him.
Tell me about the trial of waves.
When there is an argument between leaders that cannot be answered, we turn to Nagati. 2 challengers risk violent currents, beasts from the deep, and waves that would dash them against the rocks. The winner, if there is one, has Nagati's favor. The loser, living or dead, is forgotten by Nagati and the tribe.
Her gaze turns downcast. So why did Anaharu challenge Ruanu to a trial of waves?
My father knew the traders are as dangerous as pirates and slavers, perhaps more, because they grow strong in Neketaka.
Her mouth becomes a hard line. Her eyes, for a moment, look distant. Dead.
So, when the expedition came, he begged Ruanu to send them away and move the tribe to another island.
Her knobby knuckles pale as she squeezes the pendant.
Ruanu, he did not listen. And Anaharu was done talking.
I see.
Anaharu goes to his next life. But, forgotten, he goes to a different tribe.
She hangs her head. You don't seem to think much of Ruanu's leadership.
He is Aranga. My own great-aunt looked into his soul and declared him such.
Even as she says this, she hesitates, one hand clenching in a fist at her side.
I must respect him, even as he builds a village for our enemies.
Have you tried reasoning with him?
Akira, I have, and so did
She breaks off, looking down and frowning.
Anaharu. I must learn to stop saying his name.
Alright, I'll leave you to it. Check out the beach. Something about the curve of the path ahead gives you pause. With the obscured sight lines, you recognize this as a good site for an ambush. At the same time, you don't hear anything out of the ordinary. Actually, you don't hear anything at all. No hum of insects, no rustling of animals. Even the air has stilled. Pelagina holds up her hand, rubbing the tip of her middle finger against her thumb and nodding. Let's go ahead and investigate. It's a weird noise. As you move carefully forward, you spot a massive Lugafeth slinking through the wild growth. Even crouched, the wilder towers among the tropical trees, and it wears a bleached skull on its head. I'm scared. Oh god. With a gargled yelp, the wilder abandons any attempt at subtlety and leaps to attack. Oh dear god! What the
I am ready.
That thing is way bigger than it was in the goddamn cage. What? Holy hell. Oh god. I am gonna die. You are kidding me. Don't just sit there scratching yourself, dog. Run. Run away, Socrates. What are you doing? And that.
Oh, good.
Let's go.
Although I did just do way more damage to it than I thought I would. So maybe this will be an easy fight after all. I mean... Okay, it just reflects spells back at me. That's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be easy. Alright. Discipline strikes. Let's have you...
Stay behind me.
Yeah?
I mean, honestly, Shodi might kill it right here. Came damn close. There it is. You find a field strewn with ancient corpses. It must be a site of a battle that happened long ago. There might yet be something salvageable among the fallen. So many baby pearls. Want a charm belt. There we go. And a dragon pendant. You pick up the pendant, notice it's curiously warm to the touch, as if someone had just been wearing it. Okay, that's neat. Breath of Flames grants Call the Clutch. Call worms and a drake to your aid. That's very cool. Tuaku Biwa Trail. The scent comes upon you gradually as you travel. It smells of the kitchens of Kainua, of honey, cinnamon, and fresh bread, of meals shared with those now absent. Off the path, you catch a glimmer of movement. Something large and bulbous stirs beyond the trees. Try this again. Oh. Near the center of a nearby clearing stands a Delemgan, tending to a large spore. The Delemgan seems formed of the living tropics, with vibrant flowers cresting her head. Her shape suggests that of an elf, replete with pointed ears. The Delemgan looks up as you enter the clearing, eyes widening slightly as she takes you in. She tenses, if wooden muscle can be said to do so, shifting her hands forward, fingers bending into wicked claws. Like the cub that knows no better, you tread where others fear. Her voice rumbles like a falling tree limb. Tell us why. Let's examine the spore first. The bulbous fungus towers taller than an awamoa, its fleshy fronds hanging over its bulging stalk. A miasma of yellow dust hangs around it, gently stirring in the light breeze. A dank spore. You can barely make out the recumbent form of some unfortunate kith tangled in its roots. The essence the spore sucks from its victim, glimmering along its length. If it notices you, it will likely attack, and inhaling the spores clouding around it could confuse your senses. You're pretty demanding for a tree. Be careful. She is not like the Delemgan we met in Twin Elms. Aloth glances at her warily. Her head shifts very slightly, like a tree in the breeze. Do you not demand answers of those who invade your home? Are you in trouble? She says nothing for a moment, her head tilting to the side. Why do you ask this? Do you think we fear the spore? She smiles and brushes a hand along one of the spore's fronds. We have nothing to fear here. Alright.
Huh?
Oh, one of these things. I hate the earth blights. Hit her with the toxic strike.
Take him down.
Oh gosh. I want to see this in action. Palagina. You go here, and we'll have you charge that way. Wow, that's a cool spell. I like that one a lot.
Yeah?
How may I help?
Ah.
Nuh-uh, didn't work.
Nice. I mean, it worked. You killed someone. Wow, I love that I can heal. That's so cool.
That's it! Hey.
Dare. Disciplined. Alright.
Aye. They'll fall by my hand.
Davos. Nope. Okay.
Tell
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Immune. Okay. I hate these things. They take forever to kill.
What do you need?
Here we go. Can't make a dent.
Oh boy. That's better. Davos.
Let's go.
Yes.
There's one down at least.
Okay.
There we go. Nicely done, Aloth. Woo! Alrighty, everyone. It's nearly 1 o'clock. My dog has to go outside, so I am going to call it there for the night. But I appreciate everyone that came and hung out with us tonight. And if you're new here, appreciate any follows and, you know, come and join the Discord for sure to come and see when we'll be streaming next. I usually stream every Sunday and Monday, and then it's kind of random nights peppered throughout the week. We're doing this right now. We're running through a new Baldur's Gate Honors Mode run, where I'm trying to teach everyone how to play, and beat the game to get that achievement. We have a charity stream happening this Friday, June 7th. And that is going to be a rock band stream, which is going to be embarrassing as hell for me, so you should absolutely be there and pick some songs for me to play. It's going to be a great time. Everyone's going to have some fun. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thank you so much again for joining. You all have an amazing evening, and I will absolutely catch you all next time.